estimates and kind of looked at it so they can have some information back to them when blackout approaches.
But that could be completed yet this fall too, correct? What do you
I think so, yeah. It's just, like I said, we're waiting to hear something back from Bob. We have not received anything from Blacktop Service yet.
Okay.
Did Jet have some input, so at least they're not, they know.
Yeah. And I've talked, Leon actually called me up and I talked to him and he joked, he said, well, maybe I'll just have to go talk to Blacktop about this. So, I said, hey, obviously, Blacktop gave us a good deal with the joint seal. And,
Yes.
and so it's been good working with them on this project.
Yep.
But we have been, it's the end of the year and I think they're getting pushed on every single project.
Talked to Bob pretty extensively about a week and a half ago when they first started in town here, or a week ago now actually, and they're 4 weeks behind from where they attempted to be. From August 1st until now, they were rained out 17 days on their chip sealing. So that's how far behind they are on their chip sealing. So they're pushing to get all of their projects done that are time sensitive for the winter. So that's where maybe some of the concrete or some of the other issues are falling a little bit through the cracks with it. But we'll continue to push to try to get a number from them to get in front of you guys as soon as we can here to get that work accomplished this fall.
It'd be nice to get that done before we slurry coat that street. That'd be a shame, it'd be a shame to tear that up after we do it.
On those sections, it's gonna be just on the joints. So just coming back to do those two joints where we patch is what we could do there, if necessary there. It would just be a standard patch, asphalt patch in between the two curb and gutters when we're done.
Okay. Alrighty. Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2014-115. A resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to sign an amendment to the contract for videotaping services with Candace Nearing doing business as Video Concepts.
The increase in the dollar amount from $39 to $40 per hour for the increase in the dollar amount is from $39 to $40 per hour for the work. The price has not increased for several years with Video Concepts. The contract actually, I think, is just rolling over year to year now, and so this amendment will build in another addition or increase in price that wasn't in the previous contract, but we've been under that contract for many, many years now, so I think it's been 3 or 4 years.
2008.
2008 was the last.
Move approved.
Second. Roll call vote.
Slater?
Aye.
Scholl?
Aye.
Rusher?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Goodell?
Aye. And last, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2014-116. A resolution approving pay estimate number 11 from Chicago Bridge and Iron of Plainfield, Illinois in the amount of $101,669.89 for the 2012 500,000 gallon elevated storage tank water tower project.
The tower is being filled and automatic systems is at the water plant completing work. We continue to hound them to get the water tower completed so that the shifts can be cut to a normal period as opposed to the current double shifts with people service at the water plant. We're getting much closer. The tower is being shock chlorinated right now, and then they'll do the back T tests on it to make sure that it can be put into operation. Once that comes back, then the only thing we're waiting for is automatic systems. So.
And you're talking about the south tower here?
Yeah, the water tower, south water tower.
And they're here now.
They are
So it's
at
just
the
a matter of
water
time.
plant.
Okay.
They're not at the water tower. So
But it's just a
that's-
matter of time.
It's a matter of time. It's always a matter of time. It feels like everything we're talking about, it's always a matter of time.
They're not leaving, going anyplace else.
Well, I've got the police department. We're gonna lock them up and put them. That's the only way that.
Rest them.
Yeah.
Cuff them to the tower.
I think that's the only way that I can ensure that.
Lock the gates. Move to approve.
Second?
Roll call vote.
Scholl?
Aye.
Rusher?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Goodell?
Aye.
Slater?
Aye.
That's the last of our regularly scheduled items. Aaron? What's up to date?
I've got, I guess some unfortunate or fortunate news. I don't know how you want to look at it. The water department did a leak detection. Again, they always find leaks. They found several leaks on the 2-inch lines in town, which is a good thing because you find them and you fix them, but it's a bad thing because you have to go fix them. But like normal, it's always the 2 and 4 inch lines that crack. I think they said they found 4 of them, and so those will be scheduled for repair over the next few weeks here.
Is that
Get it.
any of that from last winter stuff yet, or these are all just old?
You know, most of the ones, we had a few during this summer that you could tell had just been probably boiling over since winter. And there's no way to really know if they got weakened over the winter, but the ones that you could tell were really cracked, they washed away until they finally got to the surface, or they got to a storm sewer where you could actually see it. And so, you know, some of those took some time to actually come to the surface or get to the storm sewer, but we did see those. These, because it's been so long, I would really doubt that they were from last winter, other than maybe, you know, kind of broken and not fully separated yet. So the ones that are just kind of sheared and sitting there, they don't really leak that much, but you can still hear it in the leak detection of the water swirling as it goes through. So
They're mostly easier in the south part of town, or where are these?
yeah, mixture. Most of our 2 inch lines are on the south side, so that's where we end up doing a majority of the work. Also, a few service lines were detected too when they went through, and so offer the same deal that the city's always offered. If you need help with the service, they can have the city pay for the service and then go back on taxes. And I know, I guess I haven't talked about that in a while, but that's been a huge benefit. I think there's been several people who've had very, very high service repair bills that's helped them out a lot. You know, they're still not happy because they're repairing a service and nobody wants to do that. But without that, I think that those bills would be troublesome for some of those residents. So I think it's a really good program, and would say continue to support it. Outside of that, I guess we talked about most of the projects. Bridge project wasn't on here, but the bridge project, they're working on the last pier, move on to the abutments and stabilizing that bank. The deck pour, we're still trying to get done before winter here.
Stabilizing the deck, where are we at with,
The bank on,
with Homeland on that and stuff, or whatever we're trying to get some.
oh, FEMA.
FEMA.
Yeah. FEMA, we're still trying to figure out. At first, we were talking with WH Gas about it, who's the engineer on the bridge. And I talked with them and said, okay, I need a plan to move forward with this. You know, we need to talk to Goverson Smith about possibly doing this work because it's right there. And it kind of, I don't know what happened. It was just like, it went absolutely nowhere. And I said, where are we at on this? We have to get this project completed. So we can submit for funding to FEMA, and at that point, Goverson Smith is so far behind right now, just trying to meet working days with DOT, that there's no way they're going to do added work because they barely can get the work done that they have right now. And so now we're looking at talking with INS, and INS is putting together the essentially the layers of the cake so that we can go out and get a quote from local contractors to make sure that it's bedded right, that it's stabilized and armored against future issues. And so, I guess, have you guys went and looked at that yet, or?
I called today, I wasn't quite sure where it was at.
Yeah.
Nobody relayed to me
I didn't get a
where-
chance to get back to you.
Yeah,
before
nobody
the
relayed to me
meeting,
where it
but-
was at, so
Yeah.
instead of intruding on their site, I wanted to talk to you guys
Yeah.
first on where that location is, just so
Mhm.
I know when I go down there, they yell at me that I'm on their site. So is it right at the bridge? What, is it on this side of the river?
Yeah, it's on the south side,
South side, okay.
probably about 50 feet off the roadway, maybe
Okay.
100 feet off the roadway.
Okay,
So,
if I got time tonight here, if it's still light, I'll go around and take a look at it now and see what we think, and then I'll, run it through David on everything.
and so, I mean, the big thing is, a MRSA or a Jets or anyone can really take care of this. It doesn't require a lot of machinery. You just have to get the material down there and
Just
get it.
we hate to lose that money if it's available to us.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
FEMA money, so that's, we
No.
don't always, we're gonna do it anyway, so we just hate to lose
Yeah.
the money.
No, and it'll definitely. I mean, the biggest issue is going to be arguing with FEMA about whether they've argued about the confines of the construction project and whether they believe that should be the responsibility of the contractor. And I don't think there's any way that we will ever get the contractor to pay for a washout that wasn't even where his equipment was sitting. but FEMA's telling us, oh, well, you know, that washout was close enough to the construction project that should be the responsibility of the contractor. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit laughable, but.
Yeah, that's pretty standard procedure with FEMA. You have to completely justify every penny that goes into it. You just have to back it up on everything and prove to them that it was.
Yeah. And we've went through this before. I mean, Gloria had filled out all sorts of paperwork when we had the last project, and then it was underfunded. It came back at 11,000, and the actual scope of work was closer to 35 or 40, and that was on the scaled back project. So, I mean, I'm not saying we're going to get every last dime. I think we'll definitely get some money for it, because he's agreed to somewhat that the project, that the cost would not be fully the contractor's, but he believes final grading and seating and everything like that, as far as getting it dressed up, he believes that's the contractor's responsibility. Which, again, I don't know how we go down that road, but anyway, at the very least, get it armored right away and get Jens or Marso or somebody in there to get that taken care of as quickly as possible. And that's why I gave them a call. That's why he's here.
Take a look at it. Hope it'll look right after we years.
Anything else, sir?
No, I don't believe so.
Police officer?
Police officer, there's still, the test for the candidates will be
Next week, I think, wasn't it?
next week, like the 18th, I think.
What you said this morning,
Saturday?
I can't remember.
I think he was still setting up a time with Greg
Yeah.
Garland, I think.
Yep, she used the trap,
Yeah,
you're right.
I think he was hiring a deputy first, and then I think we were gonna move on to that. So
Yeah, they're looking at doing the test. We did get a lot of applicants beyond the deputy position applicants, and so he'll run them all through the test, see who passes, and then move forward from there. Following the council's conversation about Shillington, we did reach out to him. I haven't heard anything definite from him. He did express some interest, but obviously he's in a kind of a weird predicament with his
With his
contract
canine
and so,
position thing.
I know Dean reached out to him, and we're still talking, but at this point it's nothing more than talk. So it might just be filled from the pool of applicants.
He did fill in some overtime work for us, though, because I saw his name was on an expense voucher
Yeah.
for some hours for the
Yes,
police
actually,
department.
yeah. Now I remember that conversation with Dean. Yes, he did. We had several officers out at one point, and so he came back and filled in for us, which was a good deal.
That's nice.
but it's familiar.
we had dogs under, didn't we?
No, I don't think we had a dog.
Okay.
The dog was left at home.
Anything else?
No.
Gloria?
Just a reminder, burn dates will be October 18th, November 1st, and November 15th, and brush pickup will be the week of October 27th. That's all.
All right. Darrell?
No, I don't.
Brett? Cool. John?
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I'm gonna bring this up, and I'm just gonna throw this out to the council, and this is kinda off the wall, but I had a Dakota City council member come down the other day and talk about the Rat Hole Road. And we know the road sucks at best. You know, we repaired the side on the west side of it there with help from some FEMA money a few years ago, and that was available to us and stuff like that, but the section from the Dakota City down to the Rat Hole is horrible.
Terrible.
Yeah. What I would like to ask from the council is permission to have INS go up and take a look at the trestle. Because I would like to know if there's any way, the trestle was built to hold 500,000 pounds of a loaded train car on top of it, or two of them, or whatever. You know, and we've got people walking on it, so I know I can't get rid of it. That's not gonna happen. But if we could take out, possibly, change the supports underneath it, or look and see if we need those two supports, or the way it's built or something, that we could work on the road then at some point. Because there's no use to work on the road the way it is right now. You know, we're narrowed down to one car there, the way the ducts are on the other side and stuff for water intake and everything. So, but I don't know how this project is ever gonna move anywhere unless we look at changing something.
So we widen it out, in other words, so we can.
Make it usable. It's really not
Go
even hardly
through.
usable right now. You know, but I'm just asking if they could just take a look at it and just see, and maybe it's you know.
Take a look at it,
This is
I
just
guess.
something that popped in when
Yeah.
Dakota City asked about it. I just said, I would just ask the council to see if there's anything they want to do, if they'd like to look at it. You know, we've talked about this since I've been on council. This is going on 20 years now. And we've never done anything.
I would say,
Have
have
take a
them
look
take
at
a
it
look
and
at
see if
it.
it's feasible.
And I'd be happy to show that, Nick. It just tell me, you know, yay, nay, walk away, you know, whatever, that's all we need to know or something. If it's,
Yeah.
but if it's a,
What would we call
It's just walking
well, it's
traffic.
gonna be the rat hole.
On Career Trails person
Snowmobile.
there.
Snowmobile, horses.
Is that something they wanted to share the cost with? on
No,
that?
well, that's in Humboldt side.
Oh, it's on
That's
our
all
side.
Humboldt.
Okay.
Their road stops
that's
up
right.
where it turns, and
Okay.
that's been pretty well rectified up there.
That's actually First Street
But
north,
that
right?
block is not good, never has been good, and it's just, you know, the water
So it's actually city limits of Humboldt is that street to the east?
that is correct.
Okay.
Yep, top where you turn, right there, that's actually,
Humboldt, yeah.
But Bastions is Dakota City?
that's Humboldt.
Oh, that's Humboldt, okay.
Yeah, right the other
Where the
side.
street's worst is Humboldt.
Yeah,
That's too bad, but that's the way it
That's
is.
true, yeah. So,
How is it for heights, for?
it's not tall enough, but it's tall enough for regular traffic and stuff. We'll never get truck traffic through there, that's.
No,
But that's at least, it'd be nice just, instead of cars having to stop, wait, you can't see anyway, we've been fortunate over the years, I don't know there's even ever been an accident there that I know of, which is really quite fortunate, but, it's tough in the wintertime with ice and stuff there, you're trying to come down the hill, you can't see around it, if we're gonna do anything to it, we don't want it, which is why we haven't done anything to it, just because we hope someday that's gonna change, and it's not gonna change, so.
It was an old gravel road and they just blacktopped over.
Yeah.
And that was always washed out.
Yeah, and that's it, and now we've got nice curb and gutter up to it, we fixed the intakes, on our side, we've done everything, it's all our side, but we've done everything on the west side of the bridge that's possible, and it just, if we could just look at it and just see if it's something fairly simple to,
And there's a lot of information on that. Schlofeld looked at it probably about 2 years ago, and folks that were here 2 years ago. And so there is a ton of information that we can relay to INS, so it's
it
not
was
like
it was primarily on the intake, though, when we were up there, we had a lot of problems, we were trying to figure out how to change the intakes
Yeah.
and get flowing, so it didn't have anything to actually do with the
Not on
bridge
the
at that
trestle,
point,
but
not on the
yeah.
trestle, no, but.
Yeah.
But I think we need to look at, to do anything, I think that has to be the first step, is just to look and see if,
60-inch chainsaw would do a lot in there.
and if, maybe the supports aren't needed anymore, if we're not carrying that kind of weight, they
I
may
think some
not,
of
they
them
may
are.
not be needed, or we can change one thing maybe or something, I don't know. We can just take a look at it, Nick, just see if that's, maybe it's something simple, that's all I'm asking the council to.
I'd say we take a look at it.
Alrighty.